Alright, hope you're well. I'm just back in my little shed again, messing around with this Hayabusa that was playing with the other day. Last time I replaced the sump because somebody had badly called the drain plug. Since then, I've refitted the exhaust. I didn't bother doing a video of that because I thought it was going to be quite boring. In the end, it turned out to be quite difficult. A lot of little weird problems, didn't quite fit right again. But that's by the by. The next thing I wanted to do was fit a new tyre. Sounds like a simple job. Didn't bother recording that either because I never expected a problem. But there was a problem. A few problems. Fit the tyre, no problem. But while I was taking it out, as I undone the big old axle, the swing arm just sprang apart. Now the first thing I thought of is these wheels ain't standard. These aftermarket Dymag wheels. And my theory is that they've made the spacers a little bit narrower so that they can do quick wheel changes for like on-speed racing or drag racing. I've done some measurements and I've determined that the spacer on the sprocket side is absolutely correct. That's fine. I've had a little laser down that, and that's okay. Both the wheel bearings were shot anyway, so I've replaced them. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's toast. So I've replaced them, but the spacer on this side, the brake side, is too narrow. And the second problem I found was the brake pads are obviously shot, so they need replacing, and we'll give the caliper a rebuild at the same time because this bike is unknown to me. I've only owned it a few months. I haven't got the seal kits for the pistons yet. They're in the post. I'll do another video on rebuilding the caliper, but what I found was that's the way it goes on the bike. That because the spacers are on, the pistons are running one offset to the other, and the disc's been rubbing on the caliper. So to recenter the caliper so that both of these pistons come out the same amount or just a closer amount than what they are, it doesn't have to be perfect, just better than what it is there. I'm going to have to make a new wheel spacer for it. I've ordered all. I've actually got a load of bits to fix up this caliper because, as you can see, it looks like it's it's spent a lot of time outside. I've left it outside. The previous owners left it outside, and this bike has suffered, not from being a bad bike, but from having bad owners. There's a certain amount of dipshittery that I've found so far with this. So I'm going to have to go through the whole thing. But anyway, I've got a little bag of stainless bits there to fix it all up. And just to demonstrate how out the spacer is, I mean, I've measured it all up, but you don't have to. If I just take you guys down here and get the caliper bracket, fits that way around, and put it between the swing arm and the wheel bearing, we've got loads of movement. Eyeballing that about 5mm. That's spacer in that bearing. The little flange on it's only about 2mm. So we're gonna make one that's about 4mm. And judging by the way that the pistons are in and out by different amounts, 2mm bigger will center that caliper again. So I'll rig up a bit of metal in the lathe. In fact, I've got a little bit of stainless there. I'll get that stainless in the lathe. I'll set this camera up over there somewhere, and I'll put you on fast forward because you don't need to see an hour of a bit of stainless spinning around. And then I'll show it. I'll pull it out, show you a test fitting, and put it back together again. Bear with me a sec, I'll be back. Okay, I've got that thing set up in the lathe there. I've let it stick out always because I want that to go through the bearing the same as the other one. When that's on the bike, that flange is hard up against the inner race of the bearing, so that this bit here sticks into the inner spacer tube, and you can leave them all assembled. It's quite a good idea actually. Obviously helps for speed of assembly when doing the old ratiolating, you know. Now we're in a good enough position there. I'll straighten this up a little way. So any engineers watching, don't slag me off. I really don't know what I'm doing. Right, so the step on this wants to be 30mm diameter. Right, the inner race on this bearing is 30mm. I should know that because I bought the bearings the other day. That is 38mm. So I need to take off 4mm off the radius on that. I'm not too worried how far down I go, just providing I go further than the thickness of the bearing. So the bearing's 13mm thick, so I want to go 14 plus. So we'll go like 17, say. There's a little scratch I can see when the chuck's spinning round. I'll go roughly to that. Doesn't have to be exact for this. I don't care. It's 30.4. That's just a hair tight. Okay, so I'll just shave that down to 5mm on that face there, so I can turn it around, grip it in these jaws on the stronger edge, rather than playing with that little bit, which is like that 1.2mm thick. Just need to sneak up on that a little ways. Let's get that lead out the way, because I don't really want that going in the chuck. Okay, so sorry about that. My battery went flat just as I was finishing that machining bit, but it's that wasn't that interesting. Most of it will be on fast forward anyway. So there's the original bush that come out of the Dymag wheel, and there's the homemade gorilla build one, still with swolf on it and everything. It's a really good fit on the spindle, which is the important bit. And there's the old crunchy wheel bearing with a bit of it fits in that nice as well. So that should put our brake caliper back where it should be. So I'll stick it in the new wheel bearing. It might take a bit of fiddling because I've got the drive chain wrapped around it. And that, I can feel that it's holding the spacer in the middle of the wheel, so when it's all clamped up, all the sensors and the bearings will all be loaded. There's a bearing in the sprocket carrier and then two in the wheel, and then a tube in between, so all the sensor races are loaded up. That goes in okay. Now it's stuck, that's okay, that's fine. Now then, this guy, that fits in between the swing arm and that wheel spacer that I've just made. That then will put us where we need to be. So the caliper aligned. Right, now then, that fella goes on the other side. Yeah, that's right. That guy goes on that chain adjuster. This fella will go on this chain adjuster. one hammer. Through. Let's get that guy in there. That's a perfect fit, that. Coming through the swing arm now. Let's all that fixed. So, as you can see in there, that's a perfect fit. There's virtually no movement in that at all. So I'll call that a job on that little section of it, and then the next bit. And the next bit will be, once I've got the seals, I'll do another video on the caliper rebuild, how I go about that, and while it's in bits I'll loosely bolt it back together and test fit it on this to show that the caliper is in line with the brake disc now, so we won't get this offset piston and the disc grinding away on the caliper business. So that's it for tonight. I'm going to go and wash my mitts, and hopefully them seals arrive and I'll get another video made tomorrow. So thanks for watching, appreciate it, and I'll be back in the shed soon. Cheers, thanks guys.